This is a new part of the segments that we're trying to make it more relaxed.
All right.
Yeah, so how are you and how long have you been in Australia already? We need to get you a mic. Can we have a mic for David, please?
No dancing on the couch.
No, that's Tom Cruise. Do you know Tom at all?
This is working, right? Hi. I've been in Australia for about 3 months now. I'm finished with the school, which I'm kind of disappointed about. In about a week till we finish our run there. It's been
New York Film Academy.
the New York Film Academy, and it's been a good crew to teach, and it's just really to launch into it. Australians are a great crew to teach. These young people are really been open and fun, and there's a groundedness about them. In LA, I'm teaching a lot of international students. It's like 80% of the classes are from all over the world. Excuse me. And it's just kind of fun to have one tribe, that you're dealing with, instead of like 17 different countries and 17 different value structures. And that's been really fun. And so yeah, I've been here for 3 months, and I've been in the ocean a lot, and I'm going to miss it when I go. But yeah.
Well, that's really lovely to hear that, because we think Australia is a very special part of our world here, and I believe all the Americans love visiting here, and they like to stay. Do you think you would love to sort of return and live here, or you're a bit of a gypsy?
There's a similarity to California and the States to Australia, because they're both kind of new cultures compared to some of the ancient cultures, and we carry a lot of the downfalls of new cultures and some of the great stuff too. But we're all sort of outcasts. We left Europe as the folks that weren't going to make it, So I think that there's that trend in the States and Australia that we resonate on that vibration. We're sort of the ones that left, willingly or not, So.
Cool. Well, David, let's start from the beginning with you, because you've been 30 years in this industry as an actor, and now coaching and teaching. And what made you begin to want to be an actor, and how did it start for you?
Well, to be truthful, I had no interest in being an actor. I actually started out. Are you guys all comfortable? You've been sitting a long time. Do you need to stand up and take a break or anything? All right. If you do, just get up and rudely leave the room. It's okay. Take care of it. It's good.
Isn't it thoughtful?
Yeah.
Isn't it lovely? You're all right. You're all good, aren't you? Are we all okay out there? Cool. They're fine.
So, without editing the story, because it's much more fun when you just kind of tell it as it is, I had this image as a young guy about actors, because I grew up in Los Angeles, and I'm living pretty much on the Venice-Santa Monica border, and I can't believe I'm going to tell you this, but I was actually born under the Hollywood sign. My mother was in this natural childbirth thing after the war, because I'm old, and it was like, what does that mean? And it didn't mean anything, but I just thought it was really interesting. So I feel like I'm kind of the LA baby in a certain sense. But I had no interest in being an actor, because my arrogant young self, which I've lost some of, not all of it, but I'm like, why be an actor when I can go out and do it for real instead of faking it? So I spent a lot of my initial youth and my young adulthood kind of chasing adventures and doing some of that kind of thing. And then I kind of fell into acting after getting fired from advertising companies and with a lot of other people. But I never quite settled in anywhere, and I sort of fell into acting I was in New York City. I'll make this short, but I was in New York City going through Chapter 11, which is bankruptcy, with this book company that I was working with. And I was in this hotel, and off the streets of New York is just that kind of town. The streets are just, you hit the streets and it's like a river of energy. You just bang, and you're into something. Some people on the street, one of them was a woman that I was buying a suitcase to leave town, and she asked me if I wanted to be a model, and I was broke, and I was looking for a job, and I thought, I don't want to be a model, a naked guy in front of a painter. What are you talking about? And she went, no, this is modeling, and this is back when modeling was not cool. All my friends were bankers, and they were going to be successful, and here I was going to be a male model. I went, oh good, this is really not looking good. And I went, sure, I'll look it up and I'll check it out. And long story short, it was the only option I had at the time. And then about 2 weeks later, this guy asked me if I wanted to audition for a soap opera. And I went, a soap opera? I hate soap operas. And I thought, I'm taking an acting class to learn how to public speak because I have to talk to librarians, these big groups of librarians. I was so afraid of standing up in front of people. I was going, I remember being really nervous. It's like I can't really see all of you, so that helps because the blinding eyes and all that. And I thought, I got to get over this. So I took an acting class. Long story short, all these people got up and had all these emotional experiences, and I thought, this is really indulgent. And he got me up on stage and said a couple of words, and I was indulgent. I was like crying out there on the stage, and that started this whole process of auditioning for the soap opera, which I almost got, and I started looking at the option of being an actor, and I thought, this looks kind of interesting. Because of all the things that I'd done previous to that, some of them were pretty creative. And so I started playing around with it, and it started falling into place, and one thing happened after another, and I was patient with it for a while, and then I ended up in New York doing a lot of bad plays with more people in the audience, or more people on stage than in the audience. So it was like, that was the beginning of acting, and then it started developing with some commercials, and then I was really into the craft. I really loved that. The developing of characters and reading of histories, and that was exciting to me. I liked that part of it. And bumped into a few movies and started working a little bit, and finally felt successful because I was definitely out of the box. I was going, I'm going to be living in my car, as an adult. But gratefully I was spared that. And New York is really a generous place that way. And one last thing to the young filmmakers and the actors that are out there, you're just going for the golden ring. But if you don't go for it, you're going to be pissed off for the rest of your life that you didn't take the chance. And so dedicating a few of those years to seeing what happens, I think is quite worthwhile. So that was a long answer to your question.